Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'm bringing you today's wonderful episode. So some of you guys might be wondering what happened to the live streams. Well, here's the deal. What we're going to do, we're going to shift these to the patron site for our patrons. Once I figure out how to do that, I'm going to experiment this weekend. And there's a simple reason for it. I know the last one we had some volume issues and other issues that I eventually solved. And then I reshot the entire thing as a regular video instead of a live stream. And what I have noticed, I went back through and I looked. We've had a few live streams, and what I've noticed is that on the YouTube channel, our live streams get about a fifth of the viewership of our regular videos. So obviously most of you guys prefer the regular videos, and I want to give you guys what you prefer. So we're going to keep with the regular videos for the YouTube channel, and for our patrons we will start putting in some live streams for you guys. And along with that, thank you very much to our patrons, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the exclusive videos that we occasionally put out there for you guys, and the upcoming live streams, if anyone's curious about that, and the buying us a coffee, which I appreciate. Thank you. I think your name is Brian that just bought us a couple of coffees. Very appreciated. I'm back on my diet, so I'm trying to cut out the sodas, so coffee is definitely always appreciated. But yeah, if you're curious about any of that, just check the description of the video down below. Otherwise, because I don't want this to drag on too long, we're going to go ahead and jump into today's video. Hello everybody, and for today's video, we're going to go ahead and do an episode of Crossfire. We've got a few episodes we're going to film today, since we've got the two of us both off work on a rare occasion. And today we're going to talk about what makes somebody a good and a bad dealer. And I don't mean like some of the habits. I mean, we'll probably talk some about that. But I mean, like, when somebody goes to a dealing school, and then when they quote unquote finish their dealing school and then head on out to their breaking casino and all that, it seems that you generally will know within the first couple months at the most if someone's going to be a good dealer or not. Oftentimes you know before they even get out of the school.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I'll say is a lot of times when I was a teacher, I could tell during the class if somebody really, really, really had what it took to be a dealer. Now that didn't mean that the ones that weren't going to be great dealers wouldn't end up being able to work in the field, because they certainly could. When I went to school, it was before Louis started there, so I don't think he ever met this guy. But when I went to the school, the first person I met and I talked to at the school had already been at that school for, I want to say, 3 weeks. Nice. He was still working on blackjack. Okay. That's typically 2 weeks max. A week on a shoe, and then a week on pitch, and then you move on to your next game.
Hey, hold on, I'm going to time out. It took me longer than that. It took me a couple months to learn blackjack, okay?
You didn't go every day, though, did you?
No, I went a couple times a week. Like
this guy was every day, all day. He was waiting outside the door for them to unlock the door.
Wow, dedication.
So he was there literally every day. When I did blackjack kind of quick, and for my blackjack skills, I don't think it's because I was a wonder child. I think they were short in the next craps class, so they put me in there. But I had finished craps and started working and started going back to the school just to kind of help out when this guy finally made it over to finally finished blackjack. So
wow,
months. Now he did end up working. He ended up at a breaking casino.
Nice. But
that was most definitely one of those where you look at him and you know this guy is never going to be working center strip at a tier 4 casino, tier 3 casino, maybe not even a tier 2 casino. This is the type of dealer that's going to go to the off strip, break-in joint making $50 a day and stay there for 20 years, because he's just not going to have what it takes to make it to the next level. And he might remember another guy, I'm not going to say his name, that was in the craps class when I was helping out.
I already know who you're talking about.
And he struggled mightily through the school. So some of the things that we'll see during the school, this guy was legendary, wasn't he? He eventually got banned, actually, from the school.
Yeah, I already knew it was him.
But he had some issues of his own.
Yeah.
But through the school, we can see some of the things, and a few of the things that stand out. One is a not so nice observation, but it's going to be true, and one is a huge indicator. one of the biggest indicators is, are they practicing in their off time? Because at the very
Right.
beginning of every part of the course, we'll tell you, hey, these are the things that you need to learn
Right.
and that you need to practice at home. We tell everyone, hey, go get chips. So we actually started selling them at the school.
Yeah.
When I went through, I had to go downtown to the store that they gave us business cards to find it. And I had to go
Yeah.
buy chips and all that. And eventually we started having them at the school along with cards.
Yeah.
And then eventually they made these little
Shuffle pads.
These little shuffle pads to practice your shuffle, which apparently I freaking suck at.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? So, we would encourage people, hey, you need to learn these things. And we could see which ones wouldn't. And the same thing applied to craps. Day one.
Oh yeah.
Louis remembers this because he taught a lot of day one classes for me when he first started teaching with us. We showed them three things: drop cuts, size ins, which they should have learned in blackjack, but again, they didn't practice.
Yeah.
And picking. And told them these three things you have to practice on your own.
Right.
And showed them drills. And I would say maybe 10% would practice. And then we'd get to the middle of the course and my little testing phase.
Oh, you could tell right away.
Stall for 10 days because they hadn't practiced. Now all of a sudden they need to practice and learn what they should have learned over the last 3 weeks.
Right.
And so that's one of the big indicators. The second indicator that's a not so nice observation, but is unfortunately true, some people just think they're bright. I mean, I hate to say
Yeah.
it, but there is, I don't want to say a lot of, well, I mean, there is a lot of math in dealing, just not a lot of complex math. There's very little complex math. In craps, you got a few keys that approach algebra, well, actually are algebra, on the
7x minus,
Right, yeah.
minus 1/3 x or 1/4 x.
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
Stuff like that is definitely approaching algebra, but it's approaching 6th grade algebra. And when it comes to blackjack, you're literally doing 2nd to 3rd grade math. You just
Yeah.
have to be able to do it really, really, really fast. And some people just flat can't do it.
It took me a while to learn.
They just cannot do it. I actually know a dealer that really struggles in craps. And one time someone threw this right here, 4 chips at her, said I want a 6 and 8. She had to take these 4 chips, put them next to her and go 25, 30, 35, 36. $36, 6 and 8. 18 each. And I almost fell out of the chair.
Well, she's not wrong.
I-
He or she isn't. Was it a she or he? It really doesn't matter, I guess.
I mean, she got to the right answer, but when you see that person just doesn't belong at craps. It's not a knock against them. It's just that they just don't belong there.
Right.
What other observations do you recall from the school? Just from the school. We'll talk about the break-in. But things that you would just notice would make either successful, someone that you just knew was going to be successful, or people that you just knew weren't going to be.
It was the people that were hungry. They needed it. You know what I mean? They really wanted to. They were chomping at the bit to get on that dice table to deal on a live practice game, or to deal on any practice game for that matter, whether it was dice, blackjack, roulette, baccarat, carnival game, whatever it was. They're the person who's going around asking, "Hey, you wanna play some blackjack? Hey, can I deal to you?" The people that just, you could tell they really wanted it, And for some people, it was. They were there to have fun, but these people they took it seriously. Yeah, they had fun doing it, but they took it to another level. They were serious about it, and they really wanted it.
Some people seem to be under this impression that just by showing up, they're going to master the game. Like just by being there, they're going to master the game. It's with what he's saying, that brought up to mind 2 stories of students that I saw. This was in craps. There was one person that once they progressed to a certain point, we just start doing a live game because then you just do practicing, right?
Right.
Everyone's kind of rotating through as players and as dealers.
Right.
And eventually, we had to make little cards with playing styles because students don't actually know the common ways people play and the proper ways, so they basically stroke each other.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
we came up with cards, so that would prepare people for actual real strategies. But I remember there was one guy that would be there for the entire 6-hour class and never once deal. He kept avoiding it.
Oh, there's a lot of people like that.
Why are you even there?
Right.
And then as far as he goes, being hungry, we had a girl that came to dice class, joined dice class, and at the time, it was before the school cut down the hours of the dice class by about a third. So it was a longer class. It was like a 6-hour class, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And she would show up about 2 to 2.5 hours after class started. And she's way behind her group, and she wasn't practicing and all that. And finally, I pulled her aside after like a week or two of it, and just asked her, do you want to finish this course in 8 months, or do you want to finish this course in 8 weeks?
Right.
Because you're on track to finish it in 8 months. After that conversation, surprised the hell out of me. She actually started showing up at the beginning of class every single day. She finished the course 6 weeks later. She was actually super smart.
Some people just need a quick reality check.
She just wasn't showing up for the class, and,
right.
and by the time she'd show up, she's behind. We can't stop to go back through what we just went through for the first 2 hours.
Yeah.
For one person, and leave the other 8 hanging. So yeah, hungry, definitely.
There's some people too that they just have a natural ability to deal. Like their hands are just, you could see, like one guy, he's still, to this day, he started dice class the same time as me. He works the same place as Jason. He's on day shift. He's my age. Me and him started out the same time. He just had a natural ability to deal. His hands were just beautiful. Meanwhile, I was a plumber before. My hands were just garbage. It took me a long time to get where I'm at today. I still practice, but he had like a natural ability to deal. Some people, they just. And there was another kid, an Asian kid. I forget his name. I think his name might have been like John or something. But he was a waiter, and he liked to play baccarat. So who likes playing baccarat? Oh my god! But anyway, so yeah, so me and him took a baccarat class together, and man, the way he would pluck chips, it was something of beauty. Like he would just boop, and they would like boop, 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 boop. It was. Some people just have a natural ability to their hands are just great.
Or something just clicks with them.
Right, something just clicks.
Like the one he's talking about. If I'm correct in who I assume it is. Always impressed me with their hands, and they constantly practiced. Even after they got out of class, they kept practicing.
Oh yeah.
Now the downside to it though is they actually got really, really cocky, and that's held them back because it's they didn't quite have the right mindset. It's held them back a little bit from as good as they could be right now. But
I still think he's got the potential. He's got a lot of potential.
Part of it is he's really young too, and like for me, I have terrible hands. But I was a physics major, so the math side of things and just some of my other little personality quirks just kind of made it easy for me to get the memorization side of things. But my hands were never that good, and if you watched the video of me dealing blackjack, you might.
We don't talk about Bruno, right?
Yeah. We don't talk about blackjack. Now, once people go to their break-in casinos, that's where things really start to switch too.
Oh yeah.
Now we see entirely different reasons and signs of people becoming great dealers or not becoming great dealers. Sign number one to me, continuing to practice. A lot of people seem to think that as soon as they get to the break-in casino, just dealing every single day, they're going to just become a legendary dealer just through osmosis, absorbing it from everybody else over time. And then they're wondering 2 years later why all of their peers have progressed to tier 2, tier 3 casinos and they're still stuck at a tier 1.
Right.
And it comes down to, did they continue to practice? Did they continue to do the right things? A lot of times they'll go to the break-in casino and they'll start doing these shortcuts, these just terrible, lazy shortcuts because they see other lazy dealers doing it, not realizing that you're seeing lazy dealers do it at the worst casino that you could possibly work at if you've been dealing for 10 years.
Right.
Like, why would you want to imitate people that are still at a break-in casino 10 years into their career?
Just to jump in on that, I have seen some amazing dealers at a break-in casino, but they're there for different reasons. They're there because it's the benefits and stuff like that. I'm not knocking anybody at a break-in, but he is right. A lot of them, they see these just awful dealers who they're lazy. They take the shortcuts and because they have an attitude and they've been there so long, they can get away with having their attitude, and they know the player is on a first-name basis just because they've been there so long. That they think, that's a good dealer, but they're not. They're not a good dealer. They've just been there forever.
Dealer for that place.
Even then, they're not a good dealer. It's just they've been there long enough that they can get away with stuff, that they're comfortable enough, and nobody's going to tell them anything because they're not doing anything overtly wrong, right? So,
and same thing though. You're at this breaking casino. You see this guy that's been dealing for 10 years. He's not getting yelled at by the boxes. So you think you can imitate what they're doing and their attitude?
Right.
Think of this though. They've been there for 10 years, and they haven't even been offered a dual rate spot yet. There's
Right.
probably a reason for that. And it probably deals with their mentality, because mentality plays a huge part of it. People
Right.
get cocky after about the 3 to 6 months of dealing.
Yeah.
They think, oh, I've got it. I'm a great dealer now. I finally figured it out. Because it starts to become, you start to, at a certain point, you stop thinking about it, and it starts to feel natural, and you start to feel like you've got this down, especially with craps. And even though we tell people it's 3 to 5 years to become an okay craps dealer,
right, just to get decent.
not 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And yet you got these people that suddenly think that they are God's gift to dealing just after a few months. You know what? You ain't.
Can I add to that? One of my old shift bosses, he would teach a dice course. He was a shift boss on Graveyard. And if anybody wanted to learn craps, he would say, okay, here's a paper. You sign up for the class. You come in the morning, on a Saturday morning from 10 to 12. 9 to 11 or something like that. Because that was like the slowest time, and they had a closed dice game, and they had a bunch of practice chips that they would bring out, and he would teach a dice class. And there was one dealer, she was already dealing craps, but she would come by because she wanted to practice. And there was a dealer, he's a good buddy of mine, he's been in the business since the 60s, and he can deal. And she tried doing what he was doing, like these shortcuts and all this, and the shift boss got mad at her. He says, don't do that. She's like, what? Why? I saw so-and-so doing it. He goes, he earned the right to do that. You're still starting out. You haven't earned that right. He earned the right to make that shortcut. He's been in the business forever. He doesn't make mistakes.
We trust the shortcut.
He said, he doesn't make mistakes. He knows the payouts. You do that. He goes, if you do that, you don't know what you're doing. He goes, you haven't earned that right yet. And that's another thing too. Yeah, just, you kind of do have to earn the right to get that trust to be able to make that shortcut.
You got to prove you can be trusted. Plus, that whole why, that attitude too, that holds a lot of dealers back.
Yeah.
A lot of new dealers come in with a very entitled attitude.
Oh yeah.
And they get corrected on something, they argue or they question it, and you know what? Don't argue, don't question it. Just do what you're told. We have one of the easiest jobs in the world.
Oh yeah.
Just do what you're told.
Oh
That's
yeah.
it. It's not hard. Just like when we correct a payout, hey, give that person 10 extra dollars, $10 more. Don't argue. Don't ask me why. It's not your money.
It ain't your money.
It's not coming out of your paycheck. Just give them the $10. If I'm wrong, oh well.
It ain't on you.
It doesn't hurt
It doesn't hurt you. It's on the supervisor at that
completely
point.
on me at that point. I mean, why would you just, and then we have just a few minutes left on this. I want to.
This was what makes a good dealer, right? Or a bad dealer, or what are we doing?
Yeah,
Are we just like a mix?
Yeah, just what you see.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. Where are you gonna get off to?
I want to bring up, tell a story that I just told him. I'll tell it real quick so he's got the last few minutes. So a while back, I had a dealer that's been dealing for a couple of years now, but not too much in craps. Asked me if I still taught, and I said no, but I do have a full setup at home. And in fact, I am going to be teaching somebody in a little while. And they asked me, would you teach me? I'd like some more practice, learn a few more things. And the thing is, I said, I'll let you know if I'm going to start teaching again.
Right.
But I looked at this person who's been dealing for a few months now, and was given a whole bunch of advice day one. And some of that advice was exactly what Louis is doing right now. Practice.
Oh.
Get yourself some checks. Practice at home.
I practiced.
Work on your drop cuts. Practice all these basic procedures that we had taught you.
Right.
And when they asked me, will you teach me? First thing I thought of, it's been a couple of months, and I just asked you earlier if you'd even picked up checks yet, practice at home, and you still hadn't. So if you're not willing to put in that effort, I'm not willing to waste my time, because that's what it would be. It would be a waste of time.
Oh yeah.
It's that effort. Are you actually willing to put in the effort?
You get what you put in.
Exactly.
Plain and simple. You get what you put in. You're asking questions. You want to put in the time and the effort. It's easy as that. You practice, you're going to get better. You ask questions and fight, and want to learn things, you're going to get better. But you actually have to do that stuff. You can't just say you're going to do it and not do it. Oh yeah, do you practice? I'm going to practice. Are you asking questions? I'm going to ask questions. Okay, well when? When are you going to do that? You're never going to get better. You might get a little bit better just because you get accustomed to how things work, then you just start going through the motions. But it's not really that you got better. It's just that you just kind of got conditioned to it.
Well, here's the other thing too. You get better, sure. You get better at doing it wrong.
Yeah.
I actually know quite a few dealers that I know a dealer that with the casino manager standing directly behind us, watching, did a payout like this from their working stacks. Went just from the working stacks, black checks, straight to the dealer, hand to hand with the chips, never cut it out in the cum, all that. And I said to him, like, you just went hand to hand with black checks, straight from your stacks to the, you broke so many procedural violations, and you did it with the casino manager standing right behind you watching you. Oh, I didn't even realize I did that. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
They don't realize because they don't care. You don't care about the procedures. You want to be lazy because you think it looks good, or you think, the more nonchalant you deal, the better you look. And all of a sudden, this stuff becomes second nature, and you don't think about it anymore.
Right.
And that's a huge, huge, huge problem. And since then, I've seen that dealer do that 100 times more, 100 more times since then. And that's a big thing. Are you learning when they correct you? Are you learning when somebody says, hey, why are you doing that? That's not the procedure. Or do you just in your head go, yeah, whatever, just keep doing it?
It's all about attitude. I mean, how many times do you get on a dealer and you try to correct something, and instead of learning from it, they want to argue or they take it to heart, but they don't take it to heart in a good way. They want to go tell somebody about it. Oh, this person's being mean to me. This person said this to me. Okay, well, what did you do?
Were they wrong?
Were they wrong? No, and well then maybe fix yourself, right?
Fix your face.
Yeah.
Mine's too fucked up to fix, but
well, we all got something wrong with us.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have to go to you to cover up most of the deficiencies.
It shows.
Yeah. Well, we all get old. This is your future.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're almost out of time here, so we're going to go ahead and end this one. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will catch you next time. Bye now. Thank you, everybody, for watching today's video. And as promised, a little bit more detail on things that we are working on. So, again, we want to continue trying to expand the channel. We're really hoping to be able to add roulette as soon as possible, and then some video keno, video slots, stuff along those lines. Unfortunately, it ate up almost all of our cash, paying off all of our bills during the month of January while we were down. And now that the holidays have ended, YouTube's payouts have dropped significantly. So we're kind of treading water here as far as all that goes. Do have a lot of things we want to add, though. Not just those things, those additional games, and hopefully some carnival games and such like that. But the live streams. The biggest problem right now with the live streams is with 3 jobs combined between the 2 of us, 4 if I include the 20 to 30 hours a week I'm putting into the YouTube channel. It's very, very difficult for me to have a day and time that I can commit to doing the live stream every single week, because we also have our very young child to take care of. But I'm trying to figure that out. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being on Monday nights or Tuesday afternoons, or possibly both. I intend to do at least one live stream exclusively for our patrons, and then another one on the YouTube channel. So possibly both days. We also have a few other things that we really want to attempt to move forward on. I'm just running into either time or skill set issues. I do want to eventually have a website going for us. I did used to program websites over a decade ago. A lot of things have changed, and I just don't have that time. And not a whole lot of knowledge on the current state of building websites, hosting what sites can host, and how to build up the e-commerce stuff. So if anybody has any skill sets along those lines and would like to answer some questions or just help us out, shoot us an email, sincitylivingLV@gmail.com. Also, I really hope to be able to start adding some exclusive stuff from Sin City Living, logoed shirts, hats. I'm looking to get custom dice made, even custom layouts made, although those would be pretty expensive. But I know zero about e-commerce and drop shipping and anything along those lines. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area, please email me. I would love to ask you some questions and see if you can answer a few to help me figure out how to get that going. Same thing with designing our logos. You know, I had some logos designed, very, very small logos, unfortunately, not big enough to blow up to put on T-shirts and stuff like that. And again, I know I know nothing about logo design, graphic design, any kind of websites that could do it. I literally know nothing. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area also, please email me, and you're willing to answer some questions, please email me and let me know. I'll admit I don't even know where to start as far as asking some questions, but I'm sure I'll ask a few, and that'll trigger a few more, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that, and of course we do hope to continue to improve our AV setup, but I am an AV moron, so also right there, if you have any skill sets or knowledge in that area, please email me, and are willing to answer some questions. Please email me and let me know. We would love to help. Otherwise, again, thank you everybody for watching, and we're very excited to continue bringing you our videos. Bye now.